Is pro and so we grow using procurement, program and control. I'm a businessman, yes I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes I'm an entrepreneur. Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal.
and Coach Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And today, folks, we're going to have an amazing show. We've got two wonderful guests on our show, and you guys are going to love them. But before we get into that, co-host, how are you doing today?
I am good for the second week of Black History Month, my favorite month of the year. It's the shortest month, man, but it's packed full of a lot of stuff.
We're going to have to call this Crystal's Month.
I love Black History Month. I love celebrating and uplifting and empowering my people. I've been very busy with my quotes this week, um, and it's been feeling good, and so it's been great. Everything this week it's been action packed though. I've had a lot of
Good.
stuff going on, but manageable. I did a
Love
lot
it.
of work yesterday, man. I
Well,
didn't even know I could do that much work.
well, I didn't hear from you yesterday, so I know you were busy.
Yeah, I was crazy busy yesterday because I had to get. I actually this is fantastic. I have every guest that have signed in. They all their marketing materials out. I've already did the marketing for up until the 23rd of
Oh man, I'm so
the
proud
16th,
of you.
both for the business zone and the community briefing. So next
Dang.
week I can breathe.
I am so proud of you, co-host. See, I'm telling you, man, you are this superwoman, and you've always been doing great work.
Yeah, I just had to get. I had to get a grasp on it because I got a lot of speaking engagements next week. So
Yeah.
time was going to be of the essence. So I had some breaks. I had some downtime in between coaching sessions and classroom sessions. And hey, Fernando, welcome. Glad to have you. Happy Black History Month and happy Love Month because it's Valentine's Day, Valentine's Month as well. So glad to have you. Yeah, it's great. So I'm excited about our guest. We're just in such demand this month, Gilbert.
I know, I know. Wait until next month, man. It's gonna be woo wee.
So I have. So we have. We're today on our show. We have the president and one of the members from the National Coalition of 100 Black Women (OC) Orange County chapter. So they're going to be talking about their event that's coming up in their organization. So we're going to meet them, and I love the fact that our the business zone is now down in the OC. That's a good thing.
That's right, man. That's a territory that we needed to be in. It took us 7.5 years, but we are finally there, and I'm sure the small businesses in that community, they're going to love us because the information we provide is really, really valuable information. And anyone who knows us, when we teach our workshops, we coach our clients, they know that we always provide value. If you come to our workshops and you don't walk away with some great information and some great value, then we didn't do our job. We'll give you your money back, even though it was free.
Exactly. Give you your free money back.
We'll give you your free 99 back.
So we have that. I am speaking with the Los Angeles Urban League. I think the week after for their Black History event.
All
I
right.
am teaching. I'm actually speaking with another organization. I don't. I think is it the new? No, not the New Women's Business Center. I am with a national or association for parents and youth.
Mm.
That's coming up. So we're in demand. So that's
You
pretty
know,
cool.
this time of the year is usually your time, though. Anywhere
Yeah.
from February to July, August, that's your time, man, because that's when you're doing these events. You're doing the biz camp with the kids. You're doing the women's programs. it's just phenomenal. And
Yeah.
of course, I get to give you your flowers and I get to give you your cape so you can fly around like the superwoman that you are.
Yeah, that's why I have to take vacation in October and the end of the year because I'm exhausted. So, yeah, Biz Camp, we're getting ready to start marketing for Biz Camp. We actually have a Biz Institute going on right now. I do that twice a month, and the kids are getting ready for a competition in
Yeah.
May. And actually, yeah, the competition is in June, so it's a lot going on. But yeah, the first half of the year is my busiest. One reason is tax season, and then everything else is, it's so funny, Gilbert. I was teaching a class last night with the New Women's Business Center on marketing, and I was telling everyone that when we launched the business zone, one of the best marketing tools I've had it when we launched it 7 years ago because it has definitely put us in the limelight, and so a lot of opportunities have presented itself. So I have a number of ladies that are looking at starting podcasts. Not a bad way to get the word out and expand your brand and your knowledge base. So really really cool. So you were busy working on a round closing in on a contract that you're working on.
Oh man, so I'm working on that contract with the contract provider that I can't say their names yet until
Okay.
they actually win the contract.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
They can't let anyone else know they're bidding on it, so I got to be all quiet. And oh, our field correspondent is checking in, Mr. Greg Sneed. How you doing, sir?
One love,
One
one
love to you,
love.
my brother.
And
And for the,
actually, we get to. But Barb Marley is actually his movie comes out on February 14th.
that movie was in the making for over, I like to say 6 to 8 years now, because
Wow.
yeah, they were supposed to be doing they were supposed to shoot some scenes over at We Jammin', the Jamaican
Mhm.
restaurant over there in Pico and
Mhm.
Redondo. But something happened, man. Something happened because they painted the place. When you go in there, see the big old Jamaican flag on the wall that they
Oh, that
painted, and
okay. All
they
righty.
dressed up the place nicely just for that movie because they were supposed to be shooting some scenes. But something went down, and for some reason, it didn't happen anymore. So I'm curious to see in this movie if they show any scenes of jamming at all. Maybe they went to Little Kingston. I don't know.
Maybe, but it's actually coming out on February. I mean, on the 14th. There's a whole lot of stuff going on in the movie space. We got the Pan African Film Fest that just opened up on the 6th. So for those of you want to see an amazing black artist and art and some amazing films by black directors and producers and all that sort of stuff, you want to go on over to the Baldwin Hills Plaza Mall. Is
Are we still hosting the business zone at one of those events?
We're going to host the business zone with Al Washington with the Pan African conference. That's going to be in June.
Oh, that's in June. Okay.
That's in June.
All right, man. So
Uh, but Greg says IT was produced on Island Time. It was produced on Island Time. You're
oh,
funny, Greg.
that's the name of the show, IT.
No. He said it, meaning he. You were asking what happened to.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, oh, okay.
it was produced on Island Time.
The person I see playing the lead in this movie, that's not Bob Marley's son. I
No.
would I would imagine they would want to use one of his sons because his sons look more like him and he sounds like him. So I don't get it, man. So there's some stuff going on there. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
don't know whether they were. They were. But one of the critics, I guess, critics have already seen it. They just felt that they didn't really go into why he died. Because he was a revolutionary, so you know what happens in Jamaica with the revolutionaries.
Yeah, we hear a lot of stories about what
Marcus
happened to
Garvey and all
him.
that. So I'm excited to. I love reggae and I love Bart Marley. He got 12 kids and a bunch of he got a lot of kids. And Rita Marley is pretty strong too. She carried it. She held it down, and she
Yeah,
definitely held it down
she's
with
a
him.
strong woman, man. She's a
Yeah.
strong woman. She
So
went through
I
some
can't
stuff.
wait to see it. I got to figure out what during the week because it's just We got a lot of stuff happening this week.
You know, a few months before he died, we played soccer. We played a soccer match against him and his team. You know, he used to
Oh,
love soccer. Oh yeah,
okay.
he used to love playing soccer, man. So we played against him and his team. I don't even remember who won. You know, everybody was just all in throw. Oh, we're playing against Bob Marley. So, so you know, I'm a defender, right? So
Mhm.
I'm pretty tough. I'm rough, right?
Mhm.
But we had to put on kitty gloves to play with him because you know, like it's Bob Marley, you can't hit him, you know, because his bodyguards were there too. So
Now, where were you? Where did you grow up in
in
Jamaica?
Kingston,
And oh, woo,
yeah,
boy, rough.
and he was born well. He was born in the country, but raised in Kingston too,
Kingston.
in Trenchtown,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
and that's where I went to high school over in the Trenchtown area. You know, it's amazing because these are guys that you see on the corner, on the street corner, you know, hanging out, talking smack all the time. He didn't, you know, we never thought he was going to turn out to be anything. I mean, as musicians, we're hoping that, you know, we become successful, we get hit songs, and, you know, we travel the world and get famous and all that. But we weren't thinking he was going to be anything until I think he did. Let's see what song he did. He did was Hypocrites. He did a song
Oh,
called Hypocrite.
okay.
See the hypocrites, they magalande. See the hypocrites, they magalande. My love.
So what
So
you guys may not know about Gilbert is that before he became the business coach guru, he was actually a Jamaican reggae song recorder. And our opening song is actually Gilbert. So he was a recording artist before he became Gilbert, the business coach.
you know, maybe I should coach while I should sing to them while I'm coaching, you know.
There you go. You get
See
a
what
different
happens.
response. All righty.
Since this is
Well,
Black History Month, you know, we could walk down that memory lane. We could do that. But
right.
for those of you who are just tuning in, this is the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. We're on every Friday from 3 to 4:30. If our guest is really exciting, we'll go on till 5 o'clock because the
All
audience will
right.
want to hear from them. So that's how
And
we do it
today we
here.
actually have two guests. We
We
have
had two
the
amazing guests today, so we know it's going to
yeah,
be exciting.
or three
Uh,
guests because we actually have someone coming in. Maya Reeves. She's a tax CPA, so of
Oh,
course it's
oh, I
tax
just
season.
saw an email coming in from her. So maybe she's trying to get in and she can't get in.
Okay, well, she's going to come in a little later on this afternoon, so I will check and see that. But in the
Do,
meantime,
do you want to
and
tell them
you
about the subscription, Mike?
yeah, so you guys are tuned in to the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. We are broadcasting live every Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock. We would love for you to go over to our YouTube channel, the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, and hit that subscribe button. And if you have your cameras available, you can just take a picture of that QR code and it'll take you there. We are growing our subscribers so we can monetize the channel. So we need your help to do that. And if you're enjoying the episode, then hit the like button as well. We have over 750 plus shows that are archived for the 7.5 years that we've been on the air. So go check it out. Anything you need to know about business startup, business launching, business scaling, business finance, business anything, you will find it there in that archive. So with that,
And if you guys are here as supporters of our guests, Terry and Nisharel, then we have a gift for you guys. So just go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe today. Go to YouTube and hit the subscribe button. You can also like the video, and we will provide you a free gift today just for supporting these wonderful ladies and their organization, and also being a visitor here on the Business Zone today. Our field correspondent says he said I'm the reggae ambassador.
he is. He is.
He
All
said, "Did you
righty.
go to Casey or St. George's?" No, I went to Trenchtown High. I went to the ghetto school.
Well, that's cool. All righty, Gilbert. Ready? Let's bring our guests on. I'm
Yes.
excited, and so we're gonna bring them on. We have the president, Miss Terri, and I hope Terri can hear us now.
All
Okay.
right. She can hear
I thought you could because I
I
saw
hope
you
you can hear
smiling.
me.
Yes, we can hear you. And we have Terry Lewis Jones. She is the president of the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, the Orange County chapter. And she's going to tell us how many chapters there actually are. And then we have Miss Cheryl Nip. Did I
Yes,
pronounce that right?
We'll
Okay.
yes.
we'll just call her Cheryl.
Cheryl's.
And you are the empowerment.
I am the Economic Empowerment Chair, and I'm also the treasurer.
All righty. So we are so happy to have both of you. I'm trying to get your information. Let me get the caption so that everybody can see your name. And we are just thrilled to have you. We are so happy that you guys reached out to Gilbert and I and asked us to participate in your in your national entrepreneurship week event. So we are excited about that. And so I'm gonna tell you
Well,
guys.
while Crystal is doing her thing and bringing on the guest, audience, if you guys have heard of 100, the Coalition of 100 Black Women before, put a yes in the chat so we know that you guys are supporters and you guys have heard about them and you guys like their resources. So go ahead, put a yes in the chat if you've heard of Coalition of 100 Black Women. Great organization, by the way.
Awesome, awesome. And this month, actually, since January, we've been elevating and uplifting women. That's Gilbert's favorite client, actually. No offense to the men, but he prefers working with the women.
That's right.
and and we've been
Tell
talking
them why, co-host. Tell them
because
why.
they're coachable and they pay.
That's right. That's right.
So,
They're
ladies, I'm sorry, Gilbert.
I was gonna say they're much more coachable than the men. My male clients. No offense there, Mr. Greg Sneed, but the female entrepreneurs are much more coachable, and they'll pay me on time. They don't argue about whether or not the service is what they're trying to not pay for or what they want to pay for. They see the value in what we offer. So thank you, ladies.
Thank you, guys. So, welcome, ladies. So, everyone, the mission of the National Coalition of 100 Black Women is to advocate on behalf of Black women and girls to promote leadership development and gender equality in the areas of health, education, and economic development. So, we're going to first let Miss Terri Lewis Jones introduce herself and tell us a little bit about herself and what she does. And then we'll have Ms. Cheryl let us tell us about herself. So, welcome. Terri, we're happy to have you here.
Well, thank you, Crystal and Gilbert. We are definitely so appreciative and excited to be here today. And just first of all, want to welcome you to Orange County.
All
Thank
right.
you.
That's right.
Thank
So
you
we are an
for the
advocacy group.
opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. So we're an advocacy group. I've been with the coalition since 2018 in various different roles, and really the heart of it is truly advocacy. I've just always been a mentor and a champion of others, and just my calling in life really is around advocacy. So this has been just the perfect fit for me. We talked a little bit about here's what our mission is. So we look at three key areas and economic empowerment, health and wellness, and education. We have a team 9th through 12th grade mentoring program, leadership development program, STEM program. And on top of all of that is public policy. For all of our programs to exist, we need to, as a coalition, go out there and push for public policy. I don't care who everyone votes for. Maybe I do, but we're a nonpartisan group, but it's so important to vote, right? That is everyone's value and everyone's right, not just from the presidential level where we're watching things on the news, but just in your local level, who is in your schools representing for them. So Our indecision in voting is our decision. I always have to throw a blurb out there on voting since that's coming up soon.
So,
Across the
so
across the
Terri,
yes.
did you say when the organization was founded? Did you say that or no?
In our Orange County chapter has been around since 2000, and we are definitely growing in numbers. I think, especially with what's going on with times, really pushing out there with social media and being able to kind of get out there, just boots on the grounds a bit more. We're bringing a lot into the organization, and also just really connecting with communities. People who might not look just like us, but within our community, showing here's what our needs are. I think sometimes when people look at Orange County, they think of reality TV shows that's going on, but Orange County has multiple different cities in there with very different diverse and financial backgrounds. So we are there to help women at every level. On a national level, we have over 60 chapters across the country, all have the same mission and vision in mind. Is at the end of the day, we want everyone to get paid the same, to have the same status, the same generational wealth. And we have a lot of work there to get us to where everyone else is today, but we will get there.
Well, we're so happy to have you guys working on behalf of all of us women. We do know of late, especially in the political space, women have just been really making things happen because the men have been behaving very badly. They require the women to help put them back into place. So, and it is so important that we vote. I think this year, this is probably one of the most important voting cycles there ever has been since I've been on the planet. And it is so important that we get everyone out. And I like to say that our ancestors died for the opportunity to vote. And also, I like to say, if someone's trying to take something away from you, it means it has a whole lot of value. So that's why it's so important that we vote. And it's also very important that we're have education and educated in our voting choices, because it really has some amazing, some detrimental things that can happen to us after this with this one particular election cycle. So thank you so much. So Cheryl, would you like to introduce yourself? And then I want you guys just to tell us all about what's going on and the programming that's coming up in the next couple of weeks.
All right, great. So yes, hello everyone. My name is Cheryl Nib, and I am the chair of the Economic Empowerment Program for the National Coalition of 100 Black Women. Thank you so much, Crystal and Gilbert, for inviting us on today and giving us an opportunity to introduce our chapter, our organization to your listeners. This is a wonderful opportunity. I'm also so thankful and for the fact that you guys have agreed to be a part of our panel for an upcoming event that we have next Friday, a week from today, where we're partnering with the National Coalition of Orange County Chapter is partnering with an organization called North Star in honor of National Entrepreneurship Week, as well as they're in the process of partnering with the Board of Supervisors of Orange County to proclaim the week of February 11th through 16th as the official Entrepreneurship Week for Orange County. So we're really excited to be a part of that and excited that you guys are going to be joining us next week. So let me tell you a little bit first about economic empowerment and the organization, and then I'll talk a little bit about the upcoming event a week from today. So as chair of the Economic Committee, one of the things that we really focus on, and is it really in alignment, not just our chapter, but with the national organization, is financial literacy for women and girls. And so, with that, it is our mission, as Terri, mentioned, we're an advocacy group, and it is our mission to educate our community on the various aspects of financial literacy, as well as entrepreneurship. I remember having a conversation with someone. The new wealth is really entrepreneurship. I know I can speak for myself. When I was growing up, I remember, my parents telling me, go to school and get a good corporate job. If you get a good corporate job, a good position, then you will be set. But that's not the reality anymore. That if you really want to make things happen for yourself, I work for corporate. And so it pays the bills. I don't have anything against it. But again, we realize today, that if you really want to generate wealth and control your own destiny is through entrepreneurship. So that's something as an organization that we really pushed. And in terms of offering free workshops, free classes and things of that nature to really educate the community on what options are available. There are resources available no matter where you're at. If you are just getting started, you have an idea, do not know how to get started, as well as if you're a seasoned, business owner, but you don't know how to take your business to scale your business, to take it to the next level. And so it's our job and our mission to, again, work with the community, work with community partners like yourselves, to get that information out to our people.
And if
You
I
know,
can
I
just,
often
sorry, I was
go
going to sort
go
of throw
ahead,
in one
Terry.
line after her is, and when we're talking about this, this isn't just for grown folks. This is also for that high school level, for sixth grade level. So when you are our age, like this is a normal thing to do. I know, like Cheryl mentioned, but for myself as well, I'm a mixed race. And so I have my Caucasian side of the family where my uncle was a stockbroker and everything else. So all of that was normal for them. So for me, my whole life, I found a mentor in all different areas. Here, who's going to help me with this? But I don't want that for the future generation. So we're definitely doing what we do for adults and for women, also on the young person's level.
I often say in my workshops that you cannot get rich working for the man, not in 2024, right? You got to be an entrepreneur. That's your way of getting access to government contracts, whether it's city, county, state, or federal. Federal government has over $500 billion, $500 billion in contract opportunities that a lot of small businesses and other entrepreneurs don't even know about. So they're not even playing in that space right now. So we're trying to prepare and get entrepreneurs ready to tap into those opportunities. That's $500 billion, folks. That's $500 billion. And I also like to blow my trumpet for the first female millionaire, the first female millionaire. And I want to put that out there to my audience. If you didn't know it, now you know. The first female millionaire was a Black woman, and her name was Madam C.J. Walker. She was the first person to create a hair care product for women, for Black women, because back in slavery, they had to carry all kinds of stuff on their heads, all kinds of loads, all kinds of junk on their heads, and as a result, it messed up their hair. Don't mess with a Black woman's hair. You know that, right? That's the reason you hear that phrase, right? Because they realized back in the day what happened, so they're going never again. So she came up with hair care products to help women with hair that was falling out. And as a result, she launched a campaign to go and recruit other women to sell the product, kind of like Mary Kay, right? But she was her organization was the original Mary Kay, but not right. So she went out and she recruited all these women to go out and sell the product, sell, and that's how she became a millionaire. So I want to put that out there, guys. In interest of Black History Month, that was our first female millionaire, a Black woman. Just so you guys don't just in case you guys didn't know that.
Actually, in 2021, the United States was the leading country in terms of supporting women entrepreneurship. We had an index point of 70%.
Say that again, co-host. Say that again. Say it again.
The United States, and there was a major rise during the after the pandemic of the number of women-owned businesses that were actually started and launched during that time. But however, and I'm sure you guys know this, but however, when it comes to equity in funding opportunities for our businesses, we don't get the same for the amount of female entrepreneurs that are out there. We don't get the same love that
That's
the
true.
men get, and so I would imagine that is why this opportunity, the workshop that we're going to be speaking at the event is based upon getting your business funded. So do you guys find that as well? That, and we've had several shows on why is that? Why do women get less funding for their businesses than their male counterparts?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a big problem. I mean, I did some research myself as well. And in between 2014 and 2019, women-owned businesses grew 50%. As a matter of fact, based on demographics, Black women business owners is the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in this country. But yet, when you look at capital funding, we only represent or have access to, I think, less than 2%. And so when you talk about, why is that the case? I think part of it is, just, the biases. Let's keep it real, right? That, although it may be unconscious biases, but towards, Black businesses, but we know that occur. And then also, I think it's also a lack of information in terms of what does it take in order to prepare that loan application. What do you need to have in place in order to get that loan approval? And that's where we come in. And certainly with the webinar that we have scheduled, the workshop that we have scheduled for next Friday, to talk about, getting your business funded, what are some of the steps? What can you do to create a strong financial profile? The fact that don't wait until you need the money. Let's get our books together and our information together so that when when we're ready to take that step, we're ready to take that step, as opposed to now we got to get ready to take that step. And so I think that that's part of it as well. And I think also just the mere fact, and because of the lack of funding, based on the research that I've done, let me take a step back. Based on the research that I've done, a lot of the Black, owned, businesses are self-funded. And so as a result of that, yes, they start out as a small business, but unfortunately, because of lack of funding, they're not able to scale that small business into a major corporation. And so, and again, it comes back to, knowledge, information, preparedness, and working together. And that's where our organization come into play. Again, our focus is on, we advocate on behalf of Black women and girls. As Terri pointed out, we do have some high schoolers, that have already launched their little small business or what have you. But this workshop is really intended to provide information to the community. And so, so that's where, that's what we're about.
See, part of the reason also why that happens, the lenders, they don't really study this population much. So they don't know much about what value this population can bring. So they just look at the population at the surface and they go, you're one of those. You're a high risk borrower. So as a result, here's what we're going to do for you. Yes, we will give you some money, but we're going to jack you. We're going to give you a high percent rate, a high percent interest rate. And if you can survive that, then maybe we can talk again. So that's what they've been doing. And, we really need, and, over the years, a lot of us been putting our hands out there and begging the man for an opportunity. we need to create our own opportunity. And I'm sure when we do the event for you next week, we're going to talk about some of this. But we don't just want to talk about it once. We want to live it. We want to breathe it. We want it to become part of the culture. So entrepreneurs understand, entrepreneurs on our side of the fence understand that we have to perform 5 to 10 times better than our competitors.
Mhm.
And part of that is literacy, to be knowledgeable, to understand, okay, so they want us to come in because they want to evaluate us to see if we're good enough for a loan. So what is it they're going to be looking at for us? Well, they're going to be looking at your ratios. They're going to be looking at your financial statements. They're going to be looking at all of that. And they, and again, remember I said they look at us and they make some judgment decisions, right? Like, they don't know how to read financial statements.
Mhm.
So we can
And I think
ask them.
that comes with the equity of us being, is that equity and equality that we are all fighting as Black people, but
Right.
women actually have more of a challenge than men do, Black women especially,
Yeah.
um, in the marketplace, and there are a number of reasons for that. So, in addition to this event, and I know you guys work with kids, and that's I also do an entrepreneurial program for young people. I do it. I've been doing that for 15 years. We actually have a year-round camp, and we have a summer program, 2 month summer program for kids to expose them to entrepreneurship, and they actually get to compete for a monetary gift. For each one of those rounds that we do. But what are some of the other things that the National Coalition of Women do? 100 Black Women do
Do you mean for in general or with the youth?
in general. In general.
So we also, for the health and wellness side of it, we look even just from, if you go to a doctor, like what does advocacy look like there? So I know
Mm.
that I've changed multiple different doctors of I always feel like I have to explain, oh, here's why I have high blood pressure, or here's why diabetes run in my family. But if you just look at the Black folks as a whole, there's so many of us who have that. So finally, I have gone through each, just as I, by Black owned, same thing that I do with doctors. And so we brought one on who really taught how to advocate for her yourself. Just as if you're showing up for a doctor's appointment, your appointment is at 8, you're already late. Doctors can be late for you, but you can't be late for them, because if
That's
you're in the
true.
front and you're signing it at 8 o'clock, you only have 15 minutes with that doctor if that doctor is having a good day. So
Yeah.
how do you go in there and have your list of these are the 3 key top things I want to talk about? If I only can get through one, what do I really need to know? What are my answers that I need before I leave here today? And I know in the past I didn't. I'd get in there and wait for them to ask me questions, and I'd leave and I'd go home and I was like, this just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And so it's helping women with that, even just from, from pregnancy, what are we getting for help? How many women die when it comes to medical conditions, really fighting for our rights in that area. And then as well as like public policy. So on the public policy front, we're part of a write-in that we do every year, where a lot of organizations get together and write letters to really push change there, even with the young girls. How do we teach the girls how to advocate for themselves at school when there's all this bullying going on? What does that look like for them to prepare their letters or to prepare statements for their school? So everything that we do really goes back and touches some type of public policy that we want to change.
How
All right. So
frequently do you guys hold workshops for these women? You do it once a month, every other month? How do you do it?
Often it depends, as we also do work just on our chapter local level,
Yeah.
and as well within California there's 5 other chapter presidents, so I meet with them. It was monthly and now we're meeting quarterly, so we'll do things on a California level. We'll hold workshops just for all of the sisters within the coalition in California to really help with training on how do we have our members not just being engaged and feel part of this group, but how do we really have everybody go and put out their best advocacy? So for most of our different programs, at least we have something going on once a month: health and wellness, economic empowerment, the next generation of women leaders, or what we call the teens, and they're together. And then aside from that, people who aren't in our chapters, or maybe we have, for us in Orange County, we also have the Inland Empire and San Francisco area that doesn't have chapters. So from the national level, we're able to also put on financial literacy, and there's one going on in the next month or so for a 6 weeks program to pull in girls who are from 9th through 12th grade from all around our area, and have a facilitator through one of the banking organizations. And I love that one because it's called CFO. And really, no matter what you do in life, if it's going to be you're going to work for a corporation or you're going to work for yourself, you always have to understand the money, even if you have somebody to take care of it for you later. So we're definitely a busy group, and we take off in July and in December to try to enjoy our families and relax. But really, in those months, we're already planning the next event as well. So kudos to all the husbands out there. We have to say something nice.
Yeah, the men that support us, right?
Well, I mean, it requires us to take, who is the best individual to take care of Black families, but the mothers of Black families, right? And
Right.
we have a different vested interest in that, because we've raised our children and we want the best for our kids, and so that's so very important.
Right.
And I think that's our motivation. I know that was my mom's motivation, is, they want the best for their kids, and they want the kids to be safe, and they want them to be successful. So we have, I think it starts at the house. It starts at the home, right?
We
At my
believe
grandparents.
we believe that our moms are CFOs. They're all
They
CFOs
are.
because
Yeah,
they make
absolutely.
they make a dollar stretch a long way, and you're going, how do they do this? But they make it happen. They make
No,
it happen.
absolutely.
That's another
Absolutely.
reason of really the key too of even of why I've been part of this organization, is I just don't want people to waste so much time that I have. And I
Right.
wish I would have understand what mentorship and what coaching and what champions were when I was I mean, I still am in corporate, but I'm also in the technology field under cybersecurity. So with that, you have a woman in a man's world, then you have a brown woman in a man's world. So there's definitely different paths that you have to learn how to navigate. And so I was so blessed once I had a mentor and champions. I didn't even know what they were until 5 years later, that, oh, those are who those people were for me in my life. And so now that that's really what we're doing.
So Terri, do you develop programs? Do you develop software programs?
I'm all around identity, making sure that everybody has access to the right systems, to the right times, for the right reasons.
Maybe we
Yeah.
should talk. Maybe we should talk. Because I have a platform which I'll be sharing with some of your population there, and one of the questions I was going to ask. That's why I asked you about the workshops, because you want to have an idea where your membership are in the process, and then how you can measure them to move them into a better position. So many small businesses will tell you, yeah, I'm business ready. Yeah, I'm contract ready. Yeah, I'm loan ready. Yeah, I'm certification ready. But they don't know what that looks like. So once we do our assessments using my tool, it's called Small Biz Pro. Once we use that tool to assess these small businesses and entrepreneurs, and they get their score, then they go, oh my Lord, I thought I had this and I thought I had that. We even do it with nonprofits too. A lot of nonprofits are out there running and they think they're ready. They think they have everything in place, but they really don't. After they do the assessment, they go, oh my God. So these are some of the things that Crystal and I are going to be talking to you guys about, how we can really, because with the score and the results that we provide you, you guys can use that information and go after grants. You can go after funding.
Absolutely.
You see what I
Right,
mean?
right. No, absolutely. I think that that's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
One of the things that I just want to push, when you talk about workshops, so we have the workshop, that you guys are involved with next Friday. By the way, any of your listeners, if they're interested in joining us, they can register via Eventbrite. I'm looking at the flyer here, but I don't see the QR
The
code.
link on it.
Yes.
There you
Okay.
go. There's the
Right.
QR
Right.
code
Right.
that they can, and I think up underneath my name, there's actually, I think it doesn't go up. It says get more information, and I assume they're going to a website. Let me see if I can pull that up and get that. But in the meantime, you guys can
But
use your cell phones and take a picture of the
right.
QR code. We will be blasting out this flyer. Um, Gilbert and I are speaking, and Jonathan Davies, who's the Vice President of Relationship Managers at Citizen Business Bank. And so we're going to be talking about what it takes to get funding for your businesses, ladies. But before that, what is your membership? I mean, do you have year-round membership, or how do you become a member of your chapter or of the National Coalition of Black Women?
So it's perfect timing for this question. We definitely take in applications all year round, but we have a meet and greet that's coming up. I believe it's on April 7th. It'll be in Eventbrite. And that is, so it's really once a year. So we go through meet and greet, let everybody know kind of what we've done today in a deeper level of here's what all of our programs are around, here's what all the different roles and the responsibilities are, here's kind of like our demographics in the area of what we provide. And then it goes through interviewing process, and then we find our few wonderful, great women that we have in the organization. And it's wonderful to be in our organization. If you've gone to college, that's wonderful, but we don't look at it as you have to have a certain pedigree to be part of us. An advocating heart is advocating heart. As you mentioned earlier, people have died on our behalf just so we can be sitting here right now talking to you.
Yeah.
Just so appreciative of that. So our intake time is in April is when we start our heavier recruiting, and then in August is when we install our new members.
Very good.
Awesome. Can you in the chat? You guys have a private chat right there. If you put your information there, so that, and if Cheryl, if you have that link available, if you can plop that there, and then we can copy and paste it and put it in our in the one that's being broadcast to the Facebook page and the YouTube page and the LinkedIn page.
Greg Sneed said, "Is Gilbert going to be there in person?"
Well, this event is going to be a virtual event via Zoom, but we do have another event coming up on February 29th, Thursday, February 29th at 6 p.m. And that event is going to be on generational wealth. It's, where we're going to talk about, regardless of what your position is financially in life, that it's never too late to get started to saving and building your legacy, legacy for your family, for your kids, et cetera. And so that will be an in-person event. Again, that's going to be on February 29th at 6 p.m. It's going to be held in Newport Beach at Chase Bank. You'll be able to register for that as well on Eventbrite. And if you have any information or questions about our events, you're welcome to. I see Terri put in the chat our the link for our website, as well as that you can follow us. I strongly recommend that you follow us on social media. We're on Instagram as well as Facebook, and all of our flyers and information will be available there as well.
Awesome. So I'm excited because this is my area of expertise is making sure businesses are financially ready. I do training on accounting of software, QuickBooks, and several other programs as well. I do forensics on my clients' financials. Some of the challenges that I have found, or the barriers, I won't call them gaps. Let's call them
opportunities.
Right, opportunities.
Opportunities.
Is that a lot of our business owners, both male and female, don't know how to read their financial statements, and they think their financial statements is for the benefit of their CPAs for tax purposes, and they also think it's for lenders, but it's far more than that. And before it even gets to them, they need to understand how to read it and understand what it's telling them, and it helps them make so many decisions on behalf of their business in order to increase and scale their businesses. So that's what I do with my clients is I do an overall forensics when I first meet with them. And if they don't have accounting systems, which a lot of them don't, but they're much better since the pandemic. They had no choice if they were going to get some money. They had to do that.
Right.
But I will say this, last year and this year, I have never been busier in the pre-tax prepping because everybody was on top of it this
That
year
is
as
good.
opposed to
Wonderful.
That is
the
awesome.
past, right? So,
Right.
so I'm very proud of. I'm crazy busy, but I am very proud that they embraced what they had to do because one of the things I know is when those opportunities come up, we miss out on it mainly because of this financial piece, right?
Hmm.
Yep.
We are never ready. We don't know our numbers. We don't
Our
and,
books
and
aren't
our
in
books are
order.
not in order, and so you cannot do business unless those things are in place. And so um, that's been our focus in all the organizations that I teach for. That's been our focus is making sure at least your financial structure is solid.
Now, Cheryl, you
Absolutely.
mentioned Chase Bank earlier. Do you
Hmm.
guys have a relationship with Chase Bank? Are they on your board? How does that work?
They're not on our board, but we do have a relationship with them, as do other lenders as well. As you indicated, Jonathan Davies with Citizens Business Bank is also a partner of ours. So for this upcoming event in honor of Black History Month, and again, generational wealth and knowledge, we have partnered with Chase Bank that is allowing us to host the event, this in-person event at one of their branches in Newport Beach. So, there are a number of partners that we have that we work with, and so they happen to be one of them.
So there's a lot of strategies that we employ when we're trying to get the banks involved because they like to take a hands-off approach. But then when an incident or a situation goes on in the community, they go, oh, I'm here to help. We're ready to help you guys.
Hmm.
You can see evidence of that with the George Floyd situation, right? All the banks were on board with that, and then like 3 4 weeks after that, oh, not doing that anymore. So
Hmm.
it would be nice if you guys can get them on your board. First of all, make them a board member. And then if they're a board member and then you're doing these financial literacy classes and workshops, and then you're teaching the participants how to become loan ready and line of credit ready, and they see what we're doing to prepare those participants, there's no way they can say no to giving opportunities to these young entrepreneurs. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Even
no,
if
right.
And
even
we're in
if
a,
they go
oh,
ahead.
I was gonna say we're in a definitely a little bit better situation because of our national side. So we have banks like Wells Fargo is another group that we deal with on a national level
Yeah,
as well as ours.
yeah,
So the way that we're structured, we have a certain types of board members that we're able to have, and that's the women within our organization. But we
good,
have partners and then sponsors.
good.
So some of the banks are more partners, but we definitely do have, have money coming in. But it really goes back to the comment you were making a bit earlier on the metrics and why those are so important. And when
Exactly.
somebody does hand you money, that you
Yeah.
have to be able to show that reporting on it. And it can't be, we've
Hmm.
been just so busy all year. Every year at the end, I send to national, here's a 50-page reporting of here's a snippet of all of the work that we did, and that's wonderful that I see it. I know nobody's like, sitting around being lazy, but you have to
Mhm.
be able to turn that into numbers, then to go back to those same banks to say, hey, you've been really great with us so far and have been helping us out with all of this, but now let's take it up to that
That's
next
right.
level. So
Right,
that's
That's right.
right.
definitely an area that I think everyone
Because see,
really needs to focus
where we
on.
want to start with our entrepreneurs, right? Because we know they walk into a bank asking for a loan, they're never going to get it. Because most entrepreneurs go into the bank, like Crystal say, they go into the bank asking for a loan when they actually need it. When you need money, that's not when you're going to get it from these banks, right?
Right, right,
So if they're board members and they see what the mission is and what you're trying to do, they might, because all of these banks, they have the capacity to provide lines of credit to entrepreneurs. They just say they don't have it and we don't have a program like what they do. Even if they give $20,000 line of credit to an entrepreneur, that could take an entrepreneur a long way. Because think
hmm
of it, if an entrepreneur is getting a contract and they need to hire people, that line of credit for 20 grand can really help for that first payroll. Or it can help them to purchase materials. Or it can help them with their cash flow. Is it a working capital? You see what I'm saying? So
right.
that's all those small business. Small business don't need loans. They don't need loans, and I keep saying this over and over. They're not listening to me. They don't need loans. They need lines of credit, because when you get a loan, let's say you get a loan for $1,000. What's the payment on that, Crystal? That payment is what, about $1,000 a
Well, not on
month?
$1,000, but it is quite high, depending on how structured they are and what their loan worthiness is, the
Yeah,
credibility,
hmm
their
right.
credit
Right,
Because
worthiness
they
is.
assign a
right,
certain interest rate to you based on a lot of variables, right?
right,
So
right,
when you have close to $1,000 going out of your business every month in loan payments, that does not help you, the small business. But if you do have a line of credit, let's say you have a line of credit for 20 grand, you only use 5 to 10 grand, right? You only paying back on the 5 to 10 grand. You're not paying on the whole 20 like it was a
Right,
loan.
exactly.
You see what
right,
I'm saying?
right,
So that's
right,
how the small business can navigate through those choppy waters and really make things happen. And with
right.
our education and guidance and coaching that we give them, and Crystal doing her forensics, making sure those books are in order.
Let me ask this, ladies. So, do you guys also Cause some of the issues is the financial literacy part, right? We
Right.
don't. A lot of our people don't. It didn't come from our parents. It didn't come from our grandparents. Terry, you made a comment earlier that your on your other side of your family they were stockbrokers, so they learn at the feet of their ancestors what the value of money and how money works. Unfortunately, in our families, in the Black families, we don't do that because we never learned ourselves. So, do you guys focus on financial literacy as well?
Yeah.
I know for the young people for sure,
No,
but what about the women business owners in your group?
absolutely, absolutely. If you don't mind, Terry, I'll take
Okay,
that
because I was
question.
going
So
to say,
as
we're passionate, but you
so
can't
as
argue
the
coming out.
chair,
Go ahead, my
yes,
coach.
no, no, absolutely. This is what I'm passionate about. So absolutely, as the chair of the Economic Empowerment Committee, that's what we're about. We have a program called, and it's a national program, Sisternomics, and it's all about financial literacy from A to Z. Educating not only the girls but the adults.
Mhm.
Just in the we have an event coming up in May on eliminating debt. We have events on how to invest. We've even had events on what's the difference between different investment accounts. What's the difference between stocks versus CDs and things of that
Mhm.
nature. So that is the primary goal of our Sisternomics program. It's to educate our women and girls on to be comfortable with money, to be
Mhm.
comfortable with money. Forget the fancy words, financial literacy is being comfortable with money, how to make we work hard for our money and how to make our money work even harder for us. That's what it boils
Mhm.
down to. And whether you're starting with $2 or you're starting with $20,000, how do you make that multiply, and how to, and then ultimately build that legacy and provide that generational wealth for your kids and their kids and so on and so forth, what everybody else has been doing for centuries, right? So we
Right.
can't continue to be the victims and still asking about our 40 acres and a mule, but we got to make it happen for ourselves. And the way that we do that is through education, through advocacy, and just, determination and persistence.
So and that's very, very important. So Gilbert, when you talk about, when I coach my clients on loans, loans should not be just for the benefit of the fact that you got a loan. It should be for a purpose. And for me, the only purpose is to grow your business. So you're either doing it to purchase more products, to sell for more revenue. You're either doing it to hire employees to drive more revenue. You're doing it for marketing to drive more revenue. Then at that point, the revenue is going to come in and take care of that loan. But if you're just doing a loan for the sake of loan,
Right.
then no, you're going to be caught up in debt. And I
Yeah.
think that's the understanding from the financial literacy part. So do you guys have a national, so when do all your national chapters come together in a conference?
Yes, yes. And so we just had one in Philadelphia last October, and there were 800 of us there. We have
Wow.
even more, yeah, and we've gone every year, it just grows and grows and grows, as to where last year we had to get a second hotel to try to accommodate everyone, and a whole
Wow.
back room where people had to watch it from another area. So it was sad that we couldn't all be in the same room, but what a wonderful problem to have. So our
Right.
next one, we have leadership ones, where we just really learn about the works and how do we go out there and put the mission forth. And then every couple of years we get together. That'll be into 2025. We'll have ours in San Jose, just all the business side of it. Just what do we do for our internal elections and all of the sides of handling business as well as education. So it is wonderful, and it's wonderful to walk into a room where you have 800 women who look like you, who are all doing their thing, from entrepreneurs, from young age, all the way up to our wisdom, helping us all get that mission out there. It's so exciting.
So my other utopia is, and I'm so pleased that you guys reached out to us. My other utopia is, just imagine if all of our organizations across the country. We'll start with California. There's probably thousands of organizations that are working. We're all working for the same population, right? Just imagine if you guys have 800, the Urban League has 1,200, and all the other organizations come together. It would be like our own million man and woman march, right? Our
Right.
voices then would carry so much further in areas of health and wellness, financial opportunities for us, safety for our children. And if we all could come together on that, then America would take notice of all of us, right? Because right
Yeah,
now they hear
absolutely.
silo here, silo here, silo here. We'll
Right.
throw out some
Right.
we're gonna pacify this group over here, pacify this one over here. But if we held them all accountable, it's like, wait, what?
Right, right. We're
Right?
we're together, and the media is not pitting us one against the other either, right?
Yeah, because they're doing that. I've noticed, the media is just, can be, media is good and bad at the same
Right.
time. So one of the things that is happening in the media right now, they're pitting the entertainment, our actors and they're pitting them against each other. They're,
Right.
creating these imaginary beefs between them, which then says, hey, those people can't get along, and so why should we help them, right? And so we should keep our dirty laundry in our house, not out on the street, because I think that harms us. But that's my utopia, is that we're all coming together, creating one voice, to demand, not ask, to demand what we deserve as people in this country who help build this country. That's
Our
my
field
utopia.
correspondent Greg said to fill the gaps in cash flow variances, it's better for a line of credit. So, and I agree 1,000% on that. Now, talking about the media and the powers to be, We talk a lot about they and them. They know who they are, and them know who they are. They're doing the same campaign. They're doing a global campaign, not just with the celebrities. They're doing that with Black women and Black men.
Oh yeah.
They're launching this war where we fight against each other, like, you're not this, you're not that, you don't have a value, and all of that stuff. We need to get smarter about this and realize what they're doing, because they're trying to keep us apart and not to collaborate. They're trying to build these silos. That's what they're doing. They're trying to build silos where the coalition of 100 Black women will be functioning in one place. The Vermont Sloss and Economic Development Center is functioning in another place. The Los Angeles Urban League is functioning in another place. Instead of coming together as a coalition and becoming stronger. So that's what we need to do. I mean, Crystal and I, we've been fighting this fight for years now, not just the 7+ or 8 years we've been together, but longer than that. Each one of us, we've got, at least 30 years behind us in our careers doing things. So we want to help these small businesses and entrepreneurs understand the dynamics, understand what they need. Not only do we need them to understand the financial aspect, but we want them to understand the back office aspect also. How to run their back office. What is it that they need? What paperwork do they need to run their business? It's now February 9th. If they're operating in the city of Los Angeles and they have a business license in the city of Los Angeles, do they know that those licenses will become due for renewal on February 29th? Do they know that? And do they know that if the license is not renewed by February 29th, there is a penalty of at least $384 that they're going to pay to the city of Los Angeles if their annual revenues are less than 100K. You see what I'm saying? These are things a lot of small businesses need to know, and that's what we've been trying to do and educate them. And on the platform that I mentioned to Terri earlier, my small business pro, that's my baby. My baby, I love her. We've been doing this for 16 years. You see what I'm saying? We developed and designed this platform for 16 years now, helping small businesses. And with a platform like that, that will help to make your participants become more knowledgeable about what they're doing, because the system sends them notification, reminds them of what's due, what paperwork is due, what licenses, contracts, insurance, and all of certification, all of those things. And then inside there also, it has the ratios. It helps you with your ratios, debt to equity ratio, cash ratio, quick ratio, current ratio, all of those ratios, because those are the things you're going to need to know as an entrepreneur when you go in front of a lender to ask them for money. You see what I'm saying? So all of those things are things that we have built, and we're using it full circle to help these. I don't see any other resources out there doing what we're doing here with small businesses.
Well, actually, they are. It's just that small businesses,
they're not doing it with the same fervor we're doing it, Crystal. We're
Okay.
doing it with a different fervor. Okay,
It's okay. It's okay to toot your own horn, right?
yes.
But I just know that small businesses, they're so busy working in their businesses that sometimes they can't see outside of their businesses. And that's why our organizations and Gilbert and I and all the other coaches that are out there doing this is, and a lot of times, again, it's all about the exposure, right? So most people think when you're in business, you're on this island all by yourself, right? And in some cases, they don't know our organizations are out there providing that. Well, I have coached so many people that have told me. One guy told me the other day, he says, I didn't even know what I was supposed to do with a coach. I had to Google it because I never heard of. I've been in business for over 20 years. I never knew there were people out there that could help me. So a lot of times, we think, this is what I found in my world. We think everybody knows we exist, but everybody doesn't know that we exist, and especially don't know that technical assistance is for free, because they're working with such limited resources.
Right.
There are afraid that if I go to ask for help, somebody's going to ask me for more money that I don't have to pay. That a coach
Right.
means I got to pay a lot of money. So I'm just going to do this. I'm on this island all by myself. And so I commend you guys for the work that you're doing, especially around women, because a lot of times we'll just get right on in there and trudge away at this and not know that there's a coalition, or as friends of mine say, as women, there's a tribe out there for you. You
Right.
just need to
Right. No,
belong to that tribe,
absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I commend you guys, but thank you guys so much for inviting Gilbert and I to sit on the panel
Yes.
and for next week. And to Miss Sherry Bureau from One United Bank for thinking of us and making the referral to us. I'm excited. I am
Yeah.
always uh, I believe I have to lead by example, and I believe that it was my destiny and my purpose
Your
for being on
calling.
this planet. So I work with all organizations so that I can help achieve my utopia of us all working together for the benefit of our people. And as I said earlier, I am thrilled that you guys reached out to us and we can get into the Orange County area, because I do know there are a number of there is not as many resources in Orange County as there are
Right.
in Los Angeles.
Right, right. Well, we're just so excited about the event next Friday and thrilled that you guys, have agreed to partner with us and be a part of our panelists. And I know that this is just the beginning of us working together.
Oh, for
And,
sure, for
there's going to
sure.
be more projects, that we're working on. I mentioned that we are in the planning stages for our second annual Small Business Summit in September. And so we got a lot of work to do, but working together, we can get it done. Bit
Oh,
by bit.
Greg said they will have two of the best in the biz to provide critical knowledge to their organization. Oh, Mr. Steve, you
Yeah.
touch my heart. You make me get warm and fuzzy.
Thank you, Greg. We appreciate that. Well, we're definitely committed to what we do and who we help, and that's the core of our practice and our philosophy is making the business world a more equitable and a more profitable place for our business owners. And I love the fact that you guys work with kids. I think that's our future, and
Oh,
so that's been
absolutely.
part of my business practices since I launched 30 years ago.
It's
Was
part of your passion.
That's my
Mhm.
passion. That the kids are my passion because
Right,
they're our
right,
future,
right.
right?
They're our future. They're our future.
Hmm
Exactly, exactly.
So
If we start with them, then we know that we're on the right path.
It's a shame that
exactly.
Terry had to leave, but I really enjoyed both of you guys being on here. And just so you know, this is just the beginning. And I'm sure many of your members, now they know that they have a platform they can come on and speak about their business and help to market their business across the world. So, we just want you to share it. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Business Zone on YouTube, and so you can get our notifications and you can forward it to your members and your entrepreneurs.
Absolutely,
And if you
absolutely.
have any members that are, this podcasting is an amazing marketing tool. And so if
Mhm.
you have members that you'd like to refer, that we'd like to refer to have them on our show, we'd love to have them.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, that's the platform as well. We do class and sessions, but most of the time we're interviewing and letting people know who's out there doing what. So if you have
Right.
members that are in would like to be on the show, and Cheryl, you were so nervous beforehand. How you
I
feel right
know.
now? It's
How
just
you
like
feel?
being at home, huh?
How you feel? See, I
This
told
was,
you.
yeah, no, you told me. I admit it. You told me. Yeah, I had butterflies before we got started, but this was a lot of fun. And again, this is just a wonderful, excellent platform
Yeah,
to introduce our chapter to your audience and really just to get the message out. It's now you guys are a part of our tribe,
that's
and we're a
right.
part
Thank
of
you.
yours, and so.
Greg
And
Greg
Greg
said
says
that you
you.
got some great artwork on your wall too.
Yeah, this is my office. So this is my inspiration, where I work my magic.
Well, that's in
Okay.
celebration of Black History Month anyway, right?
So are
Yes,
those
that's
some of those
right.
masks from Africa or? Or did you have artists that you
a
bought?
couple of them are, but most of them are purchased here. Yes.
Okay, all right, cool. All righty. Well, it's been wonderful, and I'm glad it was comfortable.
Yes,
and,
yes, yes.
and we
I'm ready
definitely,
now. I'm going to be
you
knocking
ready?
at your door. Okay, can we do
That's
it
right.
again?
All
That's
right.
right.
That's what we're talking about.
That's what we're talking about.
Well, we will. I'll send you some clips of it. I'll do the editing tonight because the part about the show, there will be a number of clips that'll talk about the event. So that'll be fantastic for you to be in post
Oh,
on your
absolutely.
platforms as well. And then I will be doing a blast with my. I have I actually am the co-director of Recycling Black Dollars.
Oh, okay.
And so I'll make sure that, thank you, Greg. I'll make sure that I blast it out to our network there. And then I also do another podcast, which Greg is actually one of my co-hosts and my partners on that. It's called the Community Briefing. And so we have some amazing guests on that show as well. So I'll be doing the blast out this Monday for that. So this will go out along with on our other social media platforms as well. I'll do an
Crystal,
event of
maybe
Awesome.
you can
mine.
bring
Awesome.
them. Maybe you can bring them on as a guest on the community briefing as well.
Yeah,
We would
yeah,
love to do it.
yeah. She's ready now.
I'm ready now. I got
she's
this.
she's all energized now. She's going, it's not that bad. I can
It's
do
not
it.
that bad. We're just talking, having a conversation,
That's what I told you.
Exactly.
Remember? You
Yeah.
remember I said it's
I
going to be
know
like just
you
having a
did, but
conversation in your living room,
And
just
that might be
talking.
something that your chapter might think about having a podcast because that's the best way to get the information out there and create content
right,
that can live on throughout the internet and
right.
people can archive it. So just something to think about.
Yeah, no,
But we want to thank
absolutely.
you so much. We're excited. Uh, she said, "Hey, I look good on camera." That's Greg over there. He's our ambassador. Um,
Hmm.
but I'm excited. I'm excited about next Friday and being able to talk to your
Awesome,
population
awesome.
and just be able to share the knowledge that Gilbert and I have acquired over the years.
Over
And
60
Sherry is
years
one.
of knowledge.
Yeah,
Right,
and Terry
right.
Brewer is one of my buds, and
Hmm.
they've been One United has been
One
supportive of
United.
recycling. Like,
Yes.
yeah,
That's
yeah. So
another
we're
partner I don't think I mentioned. I mean, she has been instrumental and very impactful, especially to the economic empowerment program. So,
Yeah, and that should be our principle when we look at the state of Black America. It requires all of us coming together and on our behalf, fighting for ourselves because nobody's going to come to our rescue, and we have everything that we need. We're brilliant. We're
yes, yes,
absolutely
yes,
brilliant,
yes,
but we just have to
absolutely.
right. We built this country, and we should be
Right.
proud, and we should walk with our shoulders upright and back, and our heads held high, because
Hmm.
we have done under some incredible circumstances. We have done some amazing things.
We
Just
persevered. We
we
persevered.
persevere, right?
Every time they try to knock us down, we come back and we come back stronger.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly. So we have to believe that though, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
You know
We
what
have
my
to believe that.
motivation is? And before I say that, Greg said that he's a court jester and field correspondence for the business. So,
Yeah.
so you know what my motivation is? Here's my motivation. I remember they claim that slavery was abolished in 1865, right?
Hmm.
2 years later, 1867, is when um, Madam C.J. Walker and others launched their business. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
a lot of those blacks who were slaves launched their own business. Many of them became millionaires. Now, they didn't have the resources we do. They don't have the SBA. They don't have all this platform that we're
Right,
using here for
score.
business. So
Business
they don't
coaches, you know.
they don't have business coaches. They don't have any of that. And they made it. So if
Right.
they can make it, we can make it too. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That's my
Yes.
motivation.
One of my I use this in my classes. AG Gaston. He was um uh 2 years out of slavery. He was in Birmingham, Alabama. He when
Yeah.
his family when they became freed, he then became, within a 5-year period of his of freedom, he became a multimillionaire. And he's called the Black Titan. There's a book about him, A.G. Gaston, the Black Titan. And when you read his story, but what I like about all of those, they all contributed to the freedom of their people, of other people, and to the economic development of those people, helping them start businesses. They were making the money, and they were reallocating it back to reinvesting back in. And so if we do that, if we reinvest in our people, we don't need anybody else to take care of us. We can take care of ourselves, because we have the perseverance. We know how to take something and make it out of nothing, and take a passion or a skill that we have and multiply that into a multi-million-dollar business. We are very talented in every area, every aspect. And so that's what we have to instill in our children. That
and those guys did not get loans. No one was willing to give them
nobody
loans.
was loaning money.
And see what I'm saying? They made it happen.
They made it happen.
And just think about it today, with the Black Wall Street, Oklahoma, just period. The whole entire state was a Black Wall Street, not just Greenwood, but there were many Black Wall Streets in Oklahoma. And every time they started banks, they had their whole community, right? And then they tore them down. But then they turned around and built them back up. So it's like, okay. Sometimes we have to do that. And so that's what we just have to instill in our children, instill in our business owners, is in our people, period. That, you're going to have challenges and you're going to have barriers, but you just dust yourself off and you come back. Because if you go back to our ancestors, they had absolutely nothing.
And
they made it happen.
And they made it happen. They made it happen with a lot less.
With a lot less. Nothing, actually. Less than less. Nothing. But we want to thank you guys. We want to thank everyone. This month, we're now 2 weeks into February. Election Day is March 5th. Please, guys, go out and get some, read your ballots, understand your ballots, research your ballots, and the areas that we should definitely be taking a lot of caution with is judges and our schools, anything to do with our elderly. We really need to recognize who we're putting in offices and that they have our best interest at hand. So please do your research. Don't just check some boxes. Just do your research. Google who you should be in that office, and make sure you go out and vote. No vote is a vote for the other person. So we need to make sure, and this is a very important election, and we need to drag folks to the polls, especially our young 18-year-olds. Help educate them and get them to the polls. Nobody should be saying my vote doesn't count. Your vote does count. Absolutely. And understand, anytime somebody's trying to take something away from you, which is what they're trying to do, take our vote. So if they're trying to take it away from you, it means it has major value. So don't let them take away something that your ancestors died for in order to acquire. So,
and one of the things that we do here on the Business Zone also, we will have a show a few weeks before the election, and we'll go over the either propositions or certain positions on certain item on the ballots, so people can better understand it. So, we're helping them to know what they're voting for or against.
Exactly. And if you go over to the Community Briefing YouTube channel, we've had a number of people on the show that have actually been talking about registration. And we had someone on yesterday, Violetta Aguilera. She's actually working with a coalition to get young people in the Hispanic population to the ballot. And we've had someone from the Secretary of State from Missouri, the state of Missouri, 2 weeks ago. And I think we have someone else that's coming on. So go on over to the Community Business Briefing on YouTube and check out those interviews over there. So all my resources is going to getting folks to the polls on March 5th, and then our work just begin, and we got to get everybody to the polls in November. So with that, guys, we want to thank you all for tuning in today. Thank you, Nichelle and Terri, for being here, and we are excited by next Friday. So, guys, February 16th at 11 a.m. is a virtual webinar, and we will be talking about getting your businesses funded. So please go over to register at the Eventbrite for the National Coalition of 100 Black Women. 100 Black Women, Orange County chapter.
Of Orange County, right.
Of Orange
We
County.
got to slip in that Orange County now.
Orange County, that's right, Orange County. Yes, and we're partnering with North Star OC, so
Yes.
you'll find it either by Googling us or North Star.
Right. Yeah, I scanned the QR code on that Crystal put on the screen, and yeah, it popped up North Star on my phone. I'm going, wow, okay, cool.
Okay.
Yes.
And so, and we will also, it'll be on the Business Zone's Facebook page, LinkedIn page, RBD's LinkedIn page, so you can find it over there. So please go over there. I'll put it up, make sure it goes up tonight. And with that, Gilbert, Nichelle, do you want any parting words for our audience?
Any contact information, phone number, emails you want to put out there?
I think Terri provided, I don't know if you guys already posted our website. So the only thing, I just look forward to seeing you guys next Friday and hope to be able to meet all of you in person at our event on Thursday, February 29th.
Oh, sounds good. All righty, everyone.
All right.
So we're going to sign off, Gilbert.
Yeah. We're going to go ahead.
See you all next Friday, 3 o'clock. We have another amazing guest next week, and make sure you join us.
All righty.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program and control. I'm a biz